Welcome back to the world of high-octane engineering and unrivaled luxury, where today we are looking at a clash between the past and a potential future. In the history of the automobile, few names carry as much weight as Ferdinand Karl Piëch, the visionary behind the modern rebirth of Bugatti. When the Bugatti Veyron EB 16.4 first arrived on the scene in 2005, it didn't just break records, it shattered our collective understanding of what a road car could achieve. Now, we are witnessing a tribute that aims to bridge the gap between that original game-changer and the modern era of hypercars.
This is the Bugatti FKP Hommage, a design study that forces us to look back at the Veyron 16.4 and ask ourselves how much has truly changed in the quest for ultimate speed. To understand the FKP Hommage, we must first revisit the legend of the Veyron. When Piëch demanded a car with 1,001 horsepower that could exceed 400 kilometers per hour while remaining comfortable enough for a trip to the opera, many thought it was an impossible feat of physics. The Veyron succeeded by utilizing a massive 8.0
2-liter W16 engine with 4 turbochargers and a complex cooling system consisting of 10 radiators. Its design was dictated entirely by the wind. It featured a rounded, organic shape that prioritized aerodynamic stability over aggressive aesthetics. The Veyron was often described as a pebble shaped by high-speed winds, a design language that defined the first decade of the 21st century for Bugatti. Enter the FKP Hommage. This isn't just a random concept, it is a calculated nod to the man who made the Veyron possible. When we place the FKP Hommage next to the original Veyron 16.4,
the evolution is striking, yet respectful. The silhouette remains unmistakably Bugatti, but the soft, bulbous lines of the early 2000s have been replaced by the sharp, aggressive creases that define the current Chiron and tourbillon era. The front fascia is perhaps where the most dramatic changes occur. While the Veyron featured relatively simple, large oval headlights that gave it a somewhat friendly appearance, the FKP Hommage adopts ultra-slim, menacing LED signatures that look as though they were sliced into the bodywork with a laser.
The horseshoe grille, the iconic centerpiece of every Bugatti, has also evolved. On the Veyron, it was a prominent but integrated part of a rounded nose. On the Hommage, it is deeper, more sculpted, and flanked by massive air intakes designed to channel air even more efficiently than its predecessor. One of the most defining characteristics of the Veyron was its side profile, specifically the C-line that wraps around the cabin. In the original 16.4, this line was subtle, part of the overall curve of the doors and rear fenders. The FKP Hommage takes this element and turns it up to 11.
The line is now a structural masterpiece, more pronounced and sharp, serving as both a visual divider and a functional aerodynamic element. It creates a much more athletic stance, making the car look as if it is in motion even when standing still. The wheels on the Hommage also reflect modern trends, moving away from the polished, somewhat heavy-looking alloys of the Veyron toward lightweight, intricate aerodynamic designs that prioritize brake cooling and weight reduction. Moving to the rear of the vehicles, the difference in philosophy becomes even clearer. The Veyron 16.4 had 4 simple, circular taillights that became a signature of the brand for years. It was clean, elegant, and understated. The FKP Hommage, however, embraces the modern trend of full-width light bars and complex geometric shapes. The rear end is much more open, exposing more of the mechanical components and the massive diffuser. This is a clear indication of how cooling and aero management have progressed. Where the Veyron hid its complexity under smooth bodywork, the Hommage celebrates it. The active rear wing, a marvel of engineering on the Veyron, appears even more integrated on the Hommage, promising even greater levels of downforce and air braking capability. Under the skin, the comparison gets even more interesting. While the Veyron relied on pure displacement and quad turbocharging, any modern Hommage would likely look toward hybridization. The original 16.4 was a masterpiece of internal combustion, but the FKP Hommage represents a world where electric assistance can fill the gaps in torque, providing a level of acceleration that even the Veyron's 2.5-second 0 to 60 time couldn't match. However, the soul of both cars remains that W16 heart.
The article highlights that while the technology has moved forward, the core mission remains the same: to be the fastest, most luxurious, and most exclusive vehicle on the planet. Inside the cabin, the Veyron was known for its timeless, analog feel. It eschewed large touchscreens in favor of high-quality metals, leathers, and a center console that looked like a piece of fine jewelry. The FKP Hommage likely follows the path set by the Chiron and the new Tourbillon, emphasizing a driver-centric cockpit that blends digital precision with exquisite craftsmanship. The comparison shows that while we crave modern tech, there is a deep-seated respect for the simplicity and tactile nature of the original Veyron's interior. The FKP Hommage serves as a reminder that the Veyron was not just a car, but a turning point in history. It paved the way for every hypercar we see today.
By comparing it to this modern tribute, we see that Bugatti hasn't just been making cars faster, they have been refining the very idea of what a Bugatti should be. The Veyron 16.4 was the pioneer, the brute force that broke the door down. The FKP Hommage is the sophisticated successor that takes those lessons and applies them with surgical precision. As we wrap up this deep dive, it's clear that the spirit of Ferdinand Piëch lives on in every curve and every horsepower of these machines. Whether you prefer the classic, groundbreaking lines of the original Veyron or the sharp, futuristic aggression of the FKP Hommage, there is no denying that Bugatti remains at the absolute pinnacle of automotive achievement. The Veyron started a revolution, and the Hommage proves that the fire is still burning brighter than ever. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Bugatti history and its potential future. Stay tuned for more updates as we continue to track the evolution of the world's most incredible machines.